Mr. President, the American people have gotten used to hearing bad news about their health care ever since the Democrats passed Obamacare. It seems like each and every day there is another headline about another way that the health care law is hurting people. Last Wednesday, there was a remarkable amount of bad news in just one day. This is the Wall Street Journal, Wednesday, September 23rd, headline, Health Insurers Defend Their Deals. If you flip the page over, the bottom half of that page, cost of a family health plan tops $17,000 with a chart of rising costs. The annual cost of an employer family health coverage, the portion paid by workers, continues to go up. One day, one page. The top article is about a wave of health insurance companies' mergers, which we have been seeing recently. Now, the president said that his health care law would actually increase competition among insurance companies. But just like a lot of the other predictions that President Obama made, this one has not come true. Back in June, the insurance company Aetna announced plans to buy Humana. Then the company Anthem decided to buy Cigna. Now, if these mergers are approved, continue to go through, it means that the 5 largest insurance companies in the United States will now be down to 3. Now, the president said there'd be more competition. Well, Americans are about to have much less competition. And it's not only because of the giant insurance company mergers. Obamacare also set up health co-ops in 24 states. Now, these co-ops were supposed to add competition to help keep prices down. Taxpayers put up almost $2.5 billion to help these companies get started. Well, over the past few months, what's happened? These co-ops have been dropping like flies. Just the other day, regulators in New York shut down the largest Obamacare co-op in the country. Why? Because it's lost so much money. 215,000 New Yorkers are now having fewer options for where they can go to buy Washington-mandated insurance. This is the 4th co-op to fail in the past few months. Another one failed right before it had even enrolled a single person. Think of that. Government loans, set up a co-op, don't enroll anyone, and close shop. There's only one co-op of the original 24 that is actually making any money so it can stay in business. Look, the American people know that they're not getting the increased competition that the president has promised. They also know that they aren't getting the lower prices that the president has promised. Another article came out last Wednesday to talk about how much more Americans are paying for their health care. This was the September 23rd New York Times. The headline, Health Insurance Deductibles Rising Faster Than Wages. Health insurance deductibles rising faster than wages. Here it is, unaffordable care. Wages up, this is from 2010 to 2015, wages up 10%, premiums up 24%, deductibles up 67%. The article describes a recent study by the Kaiser Family Foundation. According to Kaiser, health insurance premiums for a single person have gone up more than twice as fast as people's earnings since Obamacare became law. And we're talking about all the people that get their health insurance through work, which is about 150 million Americans. This isn't just a small group of people. It's all the people that get their insurance through work. Deductibles have gone up almost 7 times as much as earnings. It's an enormous hit for the finances of American families. The article talked about how these high deductibles are hurting a woman named Beth Landrum. She's 52. She's a teacher. The article says that about 2 years ago, Beth saw the deductible on her family's plan increase to $3,300 a year. She's a teacher. She's 52. $3,300 a year deductible under Obama's health care law. So a couple of years ago is when a lot of these Obamacare mandates were really starting to bite. The woman survived a brain tumor 10 years ago. So here she is, she has insurance, she's had a brain tumor 10 years ago, successfully treated, but she's putting off having the MRI that's been recommended by her doctor. She said, my doctor's really mad at me because I haven't had the MRI. Well, they want to see if there's any recurrence of the tumor. She says that she and her husband need to save up money to pay for the test. to pay for the deductible, the $3,300 deductible. She has health insurance under Obamacare, and she can no longer afford to get care. Coverage without care. The president continues to ignore this fact about his unaffordable health care law. Can't afford to get care, not under Obamacare. Now, President Obama promised that people would save $2,500 per family per year under the health care law. But average premiums are up nearly $4,000 since the law passed. Does the president really believe it's affordable? The new study by Kaiser only looked at insurance that people get, as I say, through their jobs. It didn't look at the deductibles people are paying when they buy their own insurance through the Obamacare exchanges. President Obama said that these plans would be cheaper than a cell phone bill. That's what he said, cheaper than a cell phone, easier to use than Amazon for shopping on the web, and cheaper than a cell phone. Well, let's take a look at the article in the New York Times. It's not how it's worked out for Rebecca Bullard. Now, Rebecca is 27, and she purchased her plan through her state exchange for $129 a month. To get that plan, she had to accept a deductible of $6,000. But she has Obamacare. Oh yeah, the president can say, I did her a favor, $6,000 deductible. The article says that when she worried that she had a cracked rib, and she chose, you know how she chose to take care of it? She chose to ask friends on social media about what to do rather than go to a doctor because of the Obamacare that was actually not worth very much to her. That's how concerned she was about paying the out-of-pocket costs that Obamacare brought her. She says, now I don't even want to go to a doctor. Is that what the president promised the American people? Deductibles so high that people don't even want to go to their doctor? People may have coverage, but they cannot afford care. It is unaffordable under the president's plan and mandates. People are paying more, and they're getting less. So it's not surprising that this administration is starting to worry. They have to figure out how to convince people that it's worth signing up for this outrageously expensive Obamacare insurance. That's what the Wall Street Journal said in another article on September 23rd. There's a picture of the head of the Secretary of Health and Human Services, Sylvia Burwell. There's a picture of her right here. It says, ensuring more people seen as tough. Ensuring more people seen as tough. According to the article, the Secretary of Health and Human Services says that this open enrollment is going to be tougher than last year. We know it's going to be tough for families that are getting hit with higher premiums and other costs. Now, the Obama administration isn't worried about these people. What the Obama administration is now worried about is going to be how tough it's going to be to sign up enough customers for this awful law. And you know, by now, they were supposed to have actually 21 million people signed up for Obamacare by next year. They're supposed to have 21 million people signed up by next year. Right now, they have less than 10 million. They're not even halfway to where they need to be and where they said they would be. Well, what this means is if they don't get more young, healthy customers to sign up, this whole system is likely to collapse. That's why the Obama administration is worried. They're worried about the impacts of their ability to sustain this law. And there's a reason that people haven't signed up. The people who haven't signed up yet, they know this insurance is not a good deal for them. It's not good for them personally. It's not worth it. About half of the people who still don't have insurance have less than $100 in savings. How is someone with less than $100 in savings supposed to pay a $6,000 deductible? Why won't the president answer these questions? Why won't the Democrats come to this floor and answer these questions? I haven't seen a Democrat come to address these issues or any of these headlines. Look, President Obama promised the American people that his health care law would produce lower costs, produce more choice. Instead, he's given people fewer choices, more powerful insurance companies, higher deductibles, and higher premiums. We've had too many of these alarming headlines, and that is in just one day alone. Too much bad news about Obamacare. The American people get it. It's a bad deal for them personally. President Obama is a lame duck. He's forced through Congress a terrible program. It's time for Democrats in Congress to sit down with Republicans and start talking about the kind of health care reforms that the American people need, the American people want, and that the American people deserve.